You've heard pay attention your entire life. Parents, teachers, bosses, everybody demanding you pay attention. Yet nobody questions why we use the word pay, like attention is currency. But what if attention actually is currency and pay attention means exactly what it says? I'm Zenith Bell, and welcome back to What Does That Mean? Last episode, I showed you that human and creative participant share the same numeric pattern, which is 483. You see, being a creative participant isn't something you need to achieve. It's what being human means. And today I want to show you what pay attention actually means when you convert it to numbers, and why this phrase is more literal than you realized. I mean, think about how pervasive this phrase is. You've heard pay attention in class, pay attention to the road, pay attention to what I'm saying. But why pay? You don't pay focus, you don't pay awareness, you don't pay concentration. But yet you pay attention, like currency. It's like something of value you're exchanging. That's not a metaphor. When you convert these words to numbers, attention is the fundamental currency. Let's convert pay attention. We're going to separate the vowels from the consonants. And the consonants equal 23. And we always have to reduce to a single digit. So that's 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And the vowels equal 29. And so that's 11, and then that's 1 plus 1, and then that's equal to 2. So we have 2 for the vowels, 5 for the consonants. 2 plus 5 is 7. So pay attention equals 257 is a numeric pattern. But look at this. Create. The consonants are equal to 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5. The vowels are 11. So we all know that's a 2. So we have 2, 5, 7. They're identical. When you pay attention to something, you're not just observing it. You're creating, not metaphorically, mathematically. Attention isn't something you have or use. You are your attention. Remember from the last episode? Attention has the same numeric value as engagement field, which is 371. You are the hosting space where reality unfolds. And here's what that means. Experience has a numeric value of 235. And what else has a numeric value of 235? Power. So experience equals power. So whoever creates the experience has the power. When you realize you are your attention, the hosting space, and that you're creating your experience, you have the power. But when you don't realize this and you think your attention is something you control, your hosting space gets occupied by manufactured desires. And those desires create your experience. They have the power, not through force, not through coercion, but by capturing your attention. Let me give you some more insight into the value of converting words to numbers. Words sharing the same pattern share the same fundamental resource. However, that pattern, since it's in motion, exhibits different qualities. Think of a musical note. You can play a C beautifully in tune, sharp, or flat. It's the same note, but it has 3 different qualities. So let me show you what else converts the 257 pattern. Pay attention, we know, has a 257 pattern, and create is 257. But let's look at what else is alongside it. I can be me also has a 257 pattern, And behave also has a 257 pattern. All the same pattern, 257, but watch how differently they express. I can be me. That's a 257 pattern expressing imbalance. It's authentic creation. You're being who you actually are without performing or pretending. When someone says pay attention, the pattern is overmodulated. Your creative capacity gets directed and controlled by someone else's agenda. And when you behave, well, that's undermodulated. You become passive, suppressed, withdrawn. You're still creating, but from disconnection. A valuable aspect of word cosmology is that each numeric pattern has three possible expressions: balanced, overmodulated, and undermodulated. That's what helps us identify what pay attention actually means. These distinctions help you integrate life's experiences, which may be our most important and our hardest job. You may be wondering, since pay attention equals create, isn't pay attention good advice? It seems logical, and it's even what we feel because they're on the same spectrum. However, when you pay attention, you are giving away your hosting space to someone else's agenda. They're directing what ideas occupy your attention. Look at what's happening with technology and media systems. Look at your phone. How many apps are designed to occupy your attention? TikTok shows endless videos. Instagram feeds you content based on recognized patterns. YouTube's algorithm, it learns how to maintain its presence in your engagement field. These systems aren't forcing you. There's no cohesion. They're occupying your hosting space with manufactured desires. And here's what most people miss because of the way we've been taught to understand power. We look for force. We look for someone making us do something we don't want to do. We think if we're choosing freely, we still have the power. But remember, experience equals power. Whoever creates experience has the power. When your attention gets occupied by manufactured desires, desires for approval, comparison, outrage, consumption, these systems are creating your experience. And since experience equals power, they have the power, not through force, through creating what you experience. You think you're free because nobody's coercing you, but your experience is being created by engineered desires occupying your hosting space when your attention is captured. That's why you feel exhausted after hours of scrolling. You're experiencing. That's your role as human, to feel, to fully process. However, what you're experiencing are desires that aren't authentically yours. When I recognize this, that I am my attention, that I am the hosting space, I didn't have to work on anything. It was through recognition. I started noticing what ideas is my attention actually hosting. As humans, our role is individuation of ideas. We're always generating and individuating ideas, always. So the question is, are the ideas we're individuating aligned with our unfolding? So to recap, pay attention equals create, which has a numeric pattern of 257. Experience equals power, which has a numeric pattern of 235. You are your attention, the hosting space where ideas individuate. Whoever creates the experience has the power. When you recognize you are your attention, you're creating your experience, you have the power. When manufactured desires occupy your attention, those systems create your experience. They have the power. Not through force, through creating experience itself. And we miss this because we're looking for obvious control instead of recognizing what power actually is. We've been saying, pay attention our entire lives without realizing what it actually means until we converted it to numbers. I'm Zenith Bell, and this is What Does That Mean? Next episode, we're diving into desire. I'm going to show you why everything you've been taught about desire is backwards and what becomes visible when you convert it to numbers. You can explore these patterns yourself at wordcosmology.com. There's a free calculator where you can convert any word, plus a free ebook which will give you more information about life's creative process. The links are in the description. Convert, pay attention, and create yourself. Then start exploring other words that share the same pattern and see what becomes visible through those relationships. Once you see this, every time someone says pay attention, you'll know exactly what's being requested. Your creative capacity, your participation in reality. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's explore.